This fascinated me, so I did a little research and I found out that not only do we have a brain in our heart, our lungs, kidneys, liver, stomach, and intestines are all packed with neural tissue. We probably have more brains from the neck down than from the neck up. And that is our second nervous system. You see, in school you were taught about your first nervous system. Everybody knows they have that. It's your central nervous system, your brain that's directly connected to your spine and runs down through your body. And this central nervous system controls everything in your body, right? Well, actually that's not true. If you think about it, if that was true, then if someone snapped their neck, their heart would stop beating. But we know this doesn't happen. They lose the use of their arms and legs because that's part of your first nervous system, which is a wired nervous system that goes down and controls your limbs. And you have a second nervous system that doesn't function with wires, called nerves, at all. Your second nervous system communicates through blood and through fields. When I was studying quantum physics in school, we learned about field theory. It's very interesting to note that your brain puts out an electromagnetic field that can be detected about 2 inches away. And your heart, every time it pounds, puts out an electromagnetic field that goes out about 30 feet. So, our heart is a very, very powerful part of our nervous system. In fact, for most people who are living a really fulfilling life, their heart is the compass for life, not their brain. Now, I'm not saying it's not important to be smart or to use your brains. We want to be reasonable in a lot of things that we do, but when we really want to live a fulfilling life, that means being unreasonable. So, our second nervous system is living here in our torso, not here in our brain. And if we're really going to go through this heart virtue process of identifying your heart virtue, we're going to want to use your second nervous system because that's where what's most meaningful is stored. Our first nervous system is committed to being reasonable, and therefore it doesn't want to take risks. It wants things to make sense, and it wants to constantly be scanning for danger. It's committed to survival. But our second nervous system is committed to living a meaningful life. It wants to do something beautiful. It wants to make a contribution. And so therefore it wants to take risks. So notice that not only do we have 2 separate nervous systems, these 2 separate nervous systems are working against each other. One doesn't want to take risks, namely our brain, and the second does want to take risks, our heart. And if you're going to have a fulfilling life, it's probably going to have a whole lot more to do with your heart and what's going on in your torso than your brain. So let's do a quick review. We know we have a heart virtue that's so powerful from the inside out it's driving our values, beliefs, and behaviors. We don't know what our heart virtue is because we were raised by our tribes, and it created a big blind spot for what was most meaningful, and we tend to live in the comfort zone and mediocrity. However, there are 2 experiences that all of us have that are so powerful and so profound, they literally blow through the comfort zone, and we have those experiences of goosebumps and rage on a regular basis. If we take an inventory of the goosebumps and rage moments in your life, we can identify your heart virtue if we use your second nervous system, which is committed to what's most meaningful. And our last diagram is about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Remember this? You learned about it in school. Maslow basically said there are basic needs, which are basically the need for food and water, and we will seek this first. Until food and water is handled, we won't climb up this pyramid. The second level of needs is for shelter. The third level is for social belonging. And at the top of the pyramid, Maslow had self-actualization. So let's tie these 4 diagrams together. There are 2 paradigms, 2 waves of going through life. And the first is the normal way. And here's what it sounds like. Let's modify your behaviors by reasoning with you so that you fit in and survive. It's the green line here. The second way to go through life is, let's identify what's most meaningful to you, living in your heart that gives you goosebumps and rage so that you end up self-actualized. That's the red line. So what we want to do in this heart virtue assessment is start you on the process of identifying what's most meaningful to you, living in your heart that gives you goosebumps and rage, and that's our magic window, by the way. We're going to take an inventory of your goosebumps and rage moments so we can identify how you can be self-actualized. So I'll review them one more time. We had these 4 diagrams, and there are 2 paradigms. The normal paradigm of the survivor, which is modify your behaviors, reason with you so that you fit in and survive. And then there's the hero's paradigm, the natural paradigm of living from the inside out. Let's identify what's most meaningful to you, living in your heart, that gives you goosebumps and rage, so you end up self-actualized. Congratulations on watching this video and preparing yourself for identifying your heart virtue. Click the link below and sign up for the Heart Virtue ID process. We're going to take you through that assessment of your goosebumps and your rage. When you're done, click Submit and we'll immediately send you the results. It'll be an email that has your heart virtue in it, and it'll tell you how to use it and what the next steps are. Enjoy the process. Click now to buy the online assessment.